Hank here. Just going to be going over a few kind of morning routines, some things I like to do to get warmed up at the beginning of the day or throughout the day if I'm feeling tight or cold. I'm just going to go through some exercises, give you some variations, explain them, give you some sets and rep schemes, just go through them like that, and you can kind of play around with them, take what you like, take what you don't like, use the different routines, kind of build your own, and find what works for you. Alright, another morning routine I like to do. It's a little bit different than the first one. We're going to start out, same thing, heel toe rock, pulling those toes up, driving the ball of our feet down. If you got a little bit of room, do a dynamic heel toe walk, going back and forth, waking those ankles up, getting that blood flowing through your lower extremities. After that, I like to do an ATG split squat, an athletic training ground split squat. For this, we want to go nice and wide. If you need, you can go by a wall, grab a chair, something like that to help out with the balance. But we're just going to go nice and long with our stance. We want to keep our chest up. Make sure your toes are facing forward. You don't want that back ankle collapsing in. Keep it all facing forward, chest up. And then we're not going down. We want to bring those hips and go forward. You're going to get a big stretch in this thigh here. You might feel some pressure in this knee. Make sure this knee tracks in line with the toes or a little bit outside. Go as far down as you're comfortable. You're going to drive up to the middle of that front foot, squeeze in your glute, coming back to the top. Then as you get warmed up, just try to work it deeper and deeper. We're going nice and long, chest up, toes forward, send those hips forward, get that nice deep stretch, drive up to that front foot. Make sure you hit both sides. After that, I like doing a Cossack squat. So for these, we're going to start out as wide as you're comfortable, keeping that chest up, chin tucked. We can put our hands out forward to help with balance. We're going to sit back and go down to a side. We want to drive our glute back at like a 45-degree angle and really try to get into it while we're pushing this thigh out. So we're going to sit back, go down, really try to get deep in there. You're going to get a nice stretch up in here, a stretch in here as well, and then we're going to push up through the middle of this foot. Boom, squeeze those glutes, and then backing down to the other side, driving that thigh out, sitting back, nice tight squeeze with the foot, get as far down as you're comfortable, drive up, boom, squeeze those glutes. One way to kind of switch this up, if you're feeling good in here and you want to stretch out those hamstrings a bit more, is we can do an archer squat. So same setup, nice and wide. The difference with this is now we're going to turn on our heel as we go back and down. Same thing, driving that thigh out, sitting back. We're going to stretch out that hamstring in here, get as far down as you're comfortable, boom, push up in the middle of that foot, back and down to the other side. After the Cossack squats, we can hit some skaters. For skaters, we're going to start kind of wide here with our feet. We're going to bring our knee up and across, boom. Get a nice stretch here in the glute. If your low back or upper glute's kind of tight, I like this a lot for that kind of stretch. Bam. And we're just going side to side, really try to drive that knee up. Boom. And once you get comfortable with it, you can try to cross turn, bringing that elbow, driving back against that knee that's coming up. So we give you a little bit deeper of a stretch, kind of loosen up that low back, boom, and those glutes. All right, after the skaters, loosen up my shoulders. I like doing kind of these wide raises where we're kind of pulling back, trying to open up our chest. If you kind of think about everything rounding forward, we just want to do the opposite. We want to open it all back up. And we're pushing up with our hands, reaching out with those fingers, trying to stretch out our upper chest and our shoulders. We want to pull with back here. We're not just throwing our hands up. We want to pull back here, try to open that chest up as we bring those hands up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and down. Get a nice flex in there. All right, then after those wide raises, I like to kind of stretch out my back a little bit more. You get these T-spine reaches, where we're just gonna stand with our feet about shoulder width apart, chest up. We're gonna reach out to the side and back behind us as far as we can. Oh. Keep your feet firmly planted as we reach out. Try to reach as far back as you can. Sometimes I like to reach with both hands. And I'm pushing up to the top of my head. Just going side to side. Get a nice stretch in my neck. Cool. So that's all the exercises I like to do for kind of that routine. For the split squats, those ATG split squats, again, 1 to 2 sets of each of these. The reps on these, anywhere between kind of 10 to 15, depending on how you're feeling. If you're really tight or tired, you can just use it for a stretch. Just bring a chair or a wall next to you, just kind of get down, stretch out, get back up. For the Cossack squat, usually for these, 10 to 12, same on the archer squats. Just going side to side. If you're feeling real good, go for 15. For the skaters, usually those 15 to 25 until my back's feeling loose. And then the wire raises, generally those 15 to 25. And then the T-spine lunges, usually those about 10. If I'm feeling really good, 15. And yeah, usually that's enough to get me feeling pretty loose, feeling pretty good. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that.